How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and welcome back, ladies and gents, to more Monster Hunter Generations gameplay. And today we are going over some more of this DLC that came out in November. This is now what I'm coining rather, the Zodias armor. I was calling it Zodiac, but it's Zodias or Zodeus, I think. Anyway, it comes with armor and a weapon, but the weapon is actually really cool, might add. It starts at 140 attack, then it eventually makes way to 160. But the coolest thing about it is that the fact that it has blast and fire. Now, you fight a Teostra to actually get this weapon and to get this gear, and it makes sense for the weapon to reflect these similar appearances and whatnot. But the armor, though, the Zodias armor, or the Zodeus armor, if you will, is actually really decent as well. It gives you evasion 1, compose, and airborne. Now, if you guys are very akin to that of the, what was it, the Silverwind Narakuga armor, and you like the fact that your female character had like all the midriff showing, well, guess what, bro? If you make this armor for your female character, she's like half-ass naked, real talk. I mean, I think she's just wearing some panties, a halter top, and then like the ribbons that you saw that the guy was wearing. But if that's your thing, then yo, that's what's up. But yo, let's move over to some stuff that's actually quite reasonable here. The skill set that's actually on the armor set is actually really interesting. I myself might actually run it a couple of times. I can see myself probably gemming in stamina recovery up or something like that, so that way I can actually make it a very decent like dual blade set, like, or an aerial set, if you will. Granted, if I'm not mistaken, there is a particular set out there that probably would boast well and better for it. I'm looking probably directly at the Strider weapon set, but to have evasion and compose is really good too. So who knows? I mean, maybe you could just throw it together and it could be another really good aerial set, because I mean, Volt's already, well, excuse me, airborne is already in there. So I like to think that this is another set on top of another great series of sets that are really good with aerial, and I'm kind of okay with that. People who really love using aerial dual blades or aerial whatever should actually have armors and whatnot that are cool enough to look at and reflect, you know, them actually using it. So I'm actually cool with that. I'm down. I mean, there's a couple of weapon sets out there that are geared towards other people. I'm looking at the Starrick armor itself. That's definitely geared towards charge blade users and gun lancers like myself, and that's really that. I'm fine with that. So hey, this game is about having fun. I mean, this DLC is actually kind of fun. Yo, you get to fight a Tio. I love fighting Tio. He's one of my favorite Elder Dragons out of the three, you know, the Kushula, the Teostra, and the Chameleos. Teostra isn't my favorite, but he's one of my favorite fights because he's relatively difficult, and there's a lot of things that he does that are very easy to dodge. I tell myself, why did I get hit by these things, but I still get hit by it. But with that being said, let's talk about the actual fight rather than the monster in the fight. From what I can actually assert, there's nothing different from this Teostra from standard Teostra. Then again, I will say one thing, truth be told, he is a bit beefy on the attacks. He'll hit you kind of hard. I'm wearing my highest defense armor right now, my Cantor R set. I have 700 defense on this as I walk into here, I believe. And I was getting hit pretty good. His Supernova did a considerable amount of damage to me, so maybe that's his thing. The fact that he's a bit more juiced up, that has a little bit more attack on him, which is fine. I mean, that's pretty much all he does. You can go in here with whatever in which you would normally do to actually fight a Teostra. A lot of people actually like to do lockdown runs on a Teostra, where they just, you know, hit him with any of the sorts of paralysis, sleep, and whatnot, make it to where you can't actually move. One thing I will recommend, though, to the end of the day, or to the end of time, is that if you guys actually can, bring someone with a poison weapon, so that way you can actually subside the fact that when he gets enraged and he has that flame aura around his body, he will not actually be able to do that. Because I believe early on in this match right here, I actually did, you know, sit in his flame aura, and I burned myself up quite up. Okay, like quite a bit. He hit me one time and I lost all my red health, and it was a shame. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, he's just a Teostra. I mean, there's nothing really different about this particular Teostra besides the fact that he actually has just a bit more attack. You can still knock the quest out in roughly like 10 to 13 minutes if you run here with a good team of friends, or, you know, a decent team of randoms or whatever, depending on like how in which you actually go to do this. I two-man this with one other person. We got it done within 15 minutes. So I mean, hey, it's not really that difficult. If you know how to fight Teostra, you should be in relatively good hands. I will say though, since this is Teostra and he is an Elder Dragon, you can pretty much want to bring his weaknesses regardless. His weakness is water. You can get away with some dragon as well, But just run those two and you should be in good hands. Now granted, there's one thing I will talk about when it comes to actually complete this video, complete this quest. Let's talk about the sub quest really quickly, because the materials, or the tickets if you will, that you actually need to make the armor set and the weapons, they don't come off relatively freely, at least not for me anyway. So I highly recommend you guys actually completing the sub quest. Now the sub quest is actually going to be kind of hard to do because it requires you to break the horns off the Teostra. Teostra's horns actually are not able to be broken until his health is actually at half health. So until he gets to half health, he does not take actual real damage to his horns. So the one way to actually, you know, maximize the efficiency on you once you break the horns is that just if you were to attack the horns the entire time. Now you have to break the horns and the wings. So the first thing you want to do is break the wings, because you could break the wings at any given time, and then attack the horns consistently. Use paralysis, I almost said use traps, can't use traps on Elder Dragons, but use paralysis, use mounts, use knockouts, things like that. Do whatever you can to actually make it to where you can actually hit his head. But with that being said, that's pretty much everything I can tell you about this quest. The armor is actually really good. I have the armor now myself. The weapon, I made the weapon. I don't think I'm gonna max it out, because I mean, it's a cool looking weapon. It has insane blue sharpness if you hit it with sharpness +2. I mean, it's huge. I don't like it's almost do you remember Nakarkos, when you would do the astral weapons, not the bone weapons, but the other weapons, the one with the huge amount of blue sharpness? It's not that huge, but it's damn close. Okay, so it's some insane sharpness. But with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Hopefully you guys found this video relatively informative. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care. And also, good luck. This quest isn't necessarily that hard, but, you know, it could definitely drain you because he is Teostra. But take care, everyone.